Hello, welcome to the Lulu Loves Crochet podcast. My name is Emma and this is my podcast all about crochet and crafts and books and anything else I feel like talking about. It's been a while since I was able to podcast actually. Life has just been happening and we've had a few sort of curveballs that have meant I really haven't felt like crocheting and I haven't moved on with a lot of my projects, but I have been crocheting, and I do have lots of things to show you that have sort of built up over the past couple of weeks, but I think there's probably too much for one episode, and I thought I would just come up quickly today and show you a few of the things and some lovely books that I've been sent and that I've bought just to get myself back into the swing of things really. And then hopefully next week the children will all be back to school and I can get organised, and then I'll film another one with everything else. So I hope that's okay. I just thought if I don't get up here and film now, I'll probably never do it. So I hope you're all well. We are all in good health. Things have been a bit manic around here, but everyone is healthy, so I feel very lucky for that. But yes, I think I'm just going to get started and show you some of the things that I've been doing. I've got my cup of tea in my new cup. Look, I found this at the charity shop. Isn't it beautiful? I love it, and it's so it's really big. And it makes me feel really posh. Look at that. So I've got my cup of tea. I feel really special when I have it in my new mug. Only a couple of pounds. Worth every penny. Right, so I can't remember where I was or when I last. I don't even know what episode we're on. I'll put it along here. I know that I've got a vlog. I've taken loads of vlog footage for April and May that I never got around to putting up, so I will pop that up at some point. And I think because I've read so many books and I've bought and been sent so many books that I think I'll either do a book haul video separately or maybe an updated, what I've read so far this year, to give you more of an idea of the things that I've been enjoying. I've got a few of the books here, and the two books that I'm currently reading, but I have been reading quite voraciously. It does seem to really calm my mind at the moment, so I've been enjoying that. Yeah, so I think I'll do those in separate videos. So let's just start. I think the last time I podcast, I don't remember what works in progress I showed you, but one of them would have definitely been my Awana shawl. And this is the beautiful pattern by, is it Dada's House? I'll put the information below. This is a paid for pattern. It's absolutely stunning. And her shawl, I think, is designed to be made with cotton. But I have made mine with the drops, Nord, I think it's called. And I will... I'll link everything I've used in the show notes or below in the description bar, depending on what time I get. It's absolutely beautiful. I really must get some better photos of it actually. I love the design, and then the border with the the extra bubble stitches. It's beautiful, and I think that I would love wearing this in the winter with my coats. I just think that's going to look so beautiful. Of course, we're finally coming into some warmer weather here in the UK. It's been really wet and miserable May, but the past few days have been absolutely glorious. So it's typical that I should be finished just in time for the warmer weather, but I'm really going to look forward to that. And I do love wearing shawls. I love wearing them as scarves, but in our house is quite drafty in the winter. And I do like just to drape them over my shoulders in the evening. And this lovely fabric, this drops yarn is just so cozy, but it still gives a really lovely definition. So yeah, so that's that. That's the Awana shawl. I will put all the details below. Oh, it's just beautiful. I'm really, really happy. It's one of those projects that I've had, it's been on my list, my wish list for a while, so I was really, really pleased to finish it. It's something that I've been wanting to make. Yeah, so that's that. Just put that there for a minute. What else has been going on? Oh, I've got lots of projects that have been started. I'll show you this first. I got sent this lovely book. I've been sent some really, really lovely books actually by the publisher. This is a book by David and Charles, and it's 100 Micro Crochet Motifs by Steffi Glaves. And I only recently found her on Instagram. She's got a beautiful account, and she has done this book, 100 Micro Crochet Motifs, and I just absolutely adored the concept of that. And there are some beautiful patterns in here, and of course I tried them out actually. Just a minute, I'm going to go and get another one. So yes, lots of different sections. So the first one I tried out was one of these leaf patterns, this one I believe, and I didn't have at the time a 1mm crochet hook, and I think a lot of this work calls for, yes, very small, most of it's 0.755mm to a 1mm crochet hook, and I only had a 2mm. And the yarn that I had to hand were the lots of balls of the Rico Design Essentials. Looks like that. Let's see that. There we go. And this yarn, I'm not sure what size cotton that is, but this calls for a 1.75 to 2mm. And 2mm is generally the smallest hook that I do like to crochet with. But I really love, I've seen lots of beautiful crochet jewellery and things like that recently, so I really wanted to have a go. So I had to get one of the leaves first of all with my 2mm and the yarn that I had. It looks like one of those like eyes, doesn't it? So cute. I think that would make a lovely little patch or something for like a denim jacket, or really lovely. Anyway, obviously it came up bigger than it's supposed to, but I wasn't deterred. I carried on, and then I moved to the flowers. So there's loads of lovely sections of this book. So for example, we have, let me see if there's an index. Flowers, leaves, celestial, like lightning bolts and raindrops, blanket squares, food, sea life, occasions, mandalas, bunting and animals. And you know, there's just so many fun things to crochet, and I really liked the idea of making some little motifs to make earrings and jewellery. And there are some instructions in the back for how you can the different tools you need. I'm not sure if that's going to show you actually because of the light. The different tools you need to turn your creations into jewellery. And we already had a little jewellery making kit because the girls have been making these bracelets, these beaded bracelets over the first lockdown. I think that was probably a year ago. And I had bought them some little kits just from Amazon. So they had some little bead kits, and then these little earring fasteners. Sorry, I've got the ring light on because it's a bit dull today. Let's see if I can show you those. There we go. You know the type. So we already had those, so I really wanted to make some earrings. So I followed one of the patterns on there with my 2mm crochet hook and the Rico yarns, and I made some tiny little daisy earrings. Aren't they adorable? I just think they're the cutest things ever. Now, they are still a bit big, I think. Although I've made a pair for Lulu and Kyra, because I think that these wouldn't be, they're so light, and actually they're not too bad, but I thought, well, I will just try them with a smaller hook. And the other thing I found was, I'm not sure if it's the way I'm crocheting, because I'm not used to working with such fine yarns. I only had this 2mm hook, and can you see I've completely bent it out of shape. It's very sort of weak, and it was bending there. So what I did was I ordered a 1mm crochet hook, and you know, one that had a proper handle and just the head, so that I couldn't, obviously as I was holding it, I was bending and I was finding it quite hard to work with. So I ordered myself a proper crochet hook, and then I started again. I didn't want to buy any more yarn because, you know, I've got these cottons that I really wanted to use. And I repeated the pattern with my 1mm crochet hook. I'm just going to show you the difference in size, and there's hardly any difference in size. So I think I was finding it quite hard to crochet with the 2mm. Maybe I was being a bit too tight, I don't know, but there's hardly any difference in size. I'll show you. So this is the one that I use, the 1mm hook, and then it's a slightly cream colour. And then this daisy, you can see I've used the white yarn. I don't know if that's going to show up because I'm here, but there's hardly any difference in size. Yeah, I mean, it's slightly bigger and a bit more open, I suppose, at the bud there, but really not a lot of difference. So I've got 2 sets of earrings now. I've got 2 little cream ones. Like, I definitely could wear these. Aren't they lovely? Let me see if I can give you a close-up of my ear. Oh yeah, I love those. And then another pair of, which I put on silver for my eldest daughter. Brilliant. I just think absolutely fabulous. What are we saying? How sunny they are. Love. So I really recommend that book. I'm really pleased to have it in my collection. The patterns are really well written. They all come with diagrams. The illustrations and the styling are just delicious. Yeah, I'm just really happy. And I think, you know, there's something in here for everyone. If you like to make jewellery, if you have children and you want to make them badges or patches, or even add to, you know, as embroidery touches to larger projects, I think that this book is great. I just think it's you know, really different and a nice new take on some, you know, some projects. I mean, there's nothing new there, is there? But it's lovely to see them used in a different way. So I definitely recommend that. It's patterns and charts for tiny crochet creations. And definitely have a look at Steffi's Instagram. I'll pop it all in the links below. So yeah, thank you to David and Charles for sending me that. Absolutely loved it. And then I think the last thing I've got to show you is, I know I had a request for this, either on here or on Instagram, but someone was after the pattern that I had made years ago. It was in a copy of Inside Crochet magazine when I was doing my column for the headscarf that I had designed for Inside Crochet. You know, these little scarves that you just, I haven't really got my hair. Yeah. I haven't really got my hair in the right style today, but they just sort of tie around there. I'll get some better pictures and pop them up. Anyway, I'd never got round to writing it up. So I'm going to put this one as a free pattern up on the blog. I'm currently typing up the PDF because I've done a little hand-drawn chart. So again, that would be low cost. If you want the PDF, it will include a little hand-drawn chart. So that I've been making a few of those. I just thought I'd try it with some different yarns. And then I tried to do another one with an extra repeat, just so that you had a couple of sizing options. But actually this one is quite big. So I'm saying unless you've got a really, really big head, you probably wouldn't want anything quite this big. But as you can see, I ran out of yarn. I was using scraps for that one. So, and I just need to put the edging on these as well. I haven't actually put the edging on or tied them. So I'm just sort of writing those up as I go. I mean, I have the original pattern, but I just really wanted to go through and check it. So that's what's coming, but they're lovely for the summer. And, you know, when Lulu was younger in particular, you know, she's got this lovely thick hair that used to just go everywhere and she hated wearing it up. It was so lovely to just be able to tie one of these, and it just kept her head, you know, her hair out of her face in the summer. So, and I do think they're really pretty. And like I said, someone had emailed and asking, because I think there's a link to the pattern, or it's up on Ravelry, but it just links to the digital copy of the magazine. So you can get it within the magazine. I forget what issue it's in. If I find it, I'll put it in the notes. But I will write that one up anyway. So that is all I brought up crochet wise to show you today. I have also just spilled tea on myself. I was also contacted by KnitCrate, who asked if I would like to try out their monthly subscription boxes. And I've seen a few podcasters, you know, reviewing the KnitCraft box. So I thought, why not? So they very kindly sent me a box to try, and I haven't opened it, so I thought I would open it here with you. So I'm not sure even what. So this is March's box. Gosh, that's how behind I am. It actually turned up quite late. I don't think I got it. Okay, so it says this month's pattern and inspirations booklet will be available in digital format only. To download your pattern and booklet, please type in the link below. Okay, so I need to download the patterns. You're receiving this card due to some last minute changes we had to make. Oh yes, they were. Yes, I did think there was a little something going on. I expect because of the pandemic. So I've got a little sticker there. And then this yarn. Let's have a look. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. This is called Celestial Vidalana, 90% alpaca, 10% tencel, Aran weight, made in Peru. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like a greyy. Can you see those blues running through it, like those silvery? Isn't that adorable? And it is the softest yarn. So I've got 2 skeins of that, and that's an Aran weight. It's probably a little bit warm now to be working with that, but I will have a look at the patterns. Like I said, I hadn't opened it. If I'd have known, I would have gone and had a look at the patterns. But isn't that beautiful? I was really pleased that they got in touch actually, because I did actually work for KnitCrate years and years ago now. I designed a series of collars for them for their must have been some sort of crochet box that they did. Yeah, so it's lovely to be able to try their yarn. I don't think I worked with their yarn. I don't think they were doing yarn there. Anyway, and then this arrived, so I'm not quite sure. There's another sticker there. I'm not quite sure. There's 2 stickers. So I'm a little bit confused, because then I got another package. So maybe this is April's. I really don't know, to be honest with you. Inspirations by, so this says the petal issue. Look at that lovely bag on the front. That light is annoying, sorry. That's lovely. This wool is Bloom. Aldine Wool's Bloom. A blossoming blend of 80% alpaca, 10% silk, 10% camel, spun into a bouncy chainette yarn. Now that's interesting because I haven't worked with any of that. Okay, and there's some, looks like knit and crochet patterns in there. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I've got some lovely crochet socks there, look. So that's lovely. And then, so this is the Bloom yarn. I'm guessing this must be April's yarn. Wait a minute. The camera's beeping at me. Just a minute. I really, really love this chain yarn. This one's called Forget Me Not. I mean, the colours are just up my street. Look at that. I've just dropped the other ball on the floor. Look at those beautiful colours and the, you know, the definition of that yarn. That's going to make something really special. So I will hopefully get around to having a play with these. Ooh. So I've got, yes, a couple of, it looks like I've got 2 months worth of yarn there. Oh gosh, look at those. So lovely. So they've also sent me a discount code. I'll put it below. It's I think it's Lulu Loves, and you can get 20% off your first box if you'd like to have a go. Beautiful. But I will put all the details in the blog post. I think that might be easier since I'm a bit out of it. So that's KnitCrate. So I'm really, really grateful to them because I just, you know, love new squishy yarn. And I haven't actually bought any new yarn. I bought some more Drops North to finish my shawl because I was a little bit short. But other than that, I haven't bought anything. I've been really, really good. Not really intentionally, I don't think. I just haven't needed to. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through some books. I think that might be the easiest thing to do. So, like I said, David and Charles Publishers very kindly sent me some of their latest issues, latest releases, and they have got some gorgeous titles. So they've sent me this one, Sustainable Knitting for Beginners and Beyond, 20 Patterns for Environmentally Friendly Knits. Who's this by? Saskia von Epipa? Epipa? Gosh, I don't know. Epipa. Anyway, there you go. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful book full of really fresh, modern, simple patterns. Now, as you know, I have a love-hate relationship with my knitting. I like to think that I can just move on and just start lots of projects. I was doing, actually I think I showed it in one of the vlogs, I'd started a little headband from the a lovely book I'd taken out from the library. I'll link the podcast below. And I was doing okay. I'd, you know, done the backwards and forwards. I jumped ahead a bit and I mean, it was way too big for one, but I thought I'm just going to keep going. And then I just lost count. I started doing the lace bit and it was very simple. I'm not even sure you could call it lace, but I lost count of where I was. I wasn't paying attention to my rows and yeah, I completely lost where I was. So I think I've got to be really careful, I think, and sort of tick rows off with knitting. For me, it doesn't feel as, you know, with crochet, I can very easily just see where the stitches are and how many rows I've done, whereas I'm just not that confident, I think, with the knitting. And so yeah, but I keep going. But anyway, I saw this project. Look at this. This is just a basic top. How beautiful is that? I feel like I definitely could do that. I definitely could. And circular knitting needle. I think I'm going to order that and try and do that because I feel like I looked at the yarn and I feel like it's like an Aran weight yarn, which I think would be easier as well. It's a Lana Grossa Organico cotton. Oh, I really like the look of that, but I probably should start with something smaller. You know, there's body scrubs, dish sponge baskets, placemats. I love these like mesh shopping bags, but look, hair scrunchies, pot holders, hair bands. So I feel like there's a lovely range of quite simple projects that I could do, and they're all in lovely neutrals, nice sort of yarns, so you get this sort of texture and, you know, sort of plant fibres. And so I really think that's a really lovely book, you know, environmentally friendly knits. So I really liked that idea. So that's another really lovely one. And then they also sent through Hello Hexie by Sarah Shrimpton, who is Annaboo's House on Instagram. I'm sure you are all very familiar with her crochet work. She's very talented. So this is 20 easy crochet patterns from Simple Granny Hexagons. And I love this concept. You know, just taking one sort of basic shape, making all these lovely projects. Little Buzzy Bee Lovely there. What else? We've got lots of blankets. Oh, the little hexagon skirt. Not something I probably would wear, but it's a lovely poncho. I love this. I think I might be tempted to make this one. Can you see that? It's like a beautiful top made out of like lacy hexagons there. That'd be lovely for the summer. Just really gorgeous patterns. Look at this as well, it's nice. And there's a lovely pair of little wrist warmers in here, which I think I've done with like mini hexagons, and I really love those as well. Oh, look at that Spring Garden Shrug, that's beautiful as well. So I've definitely got those little wrist warmers on my wish list to make. Can't find them. I'm pretty sure they're in here. Yeah, just lovely patterns. Sarah's work is always so beautiful anyway. There's charts as well. Yes, there they are. Patchwork wrist warmers. Look at that. I just think, oh gosh, they're divine. So I might have a go at those as well. I think they'd be lovely for winter, and just to make some little, you know, some of the more pretty yarns I've got. I love that. So yep, that's Sarah's new book. I'm pretty sure these are all available now. I will just, I know those two are, I think they are. I'll just I will check the list. Yes, they were all out in May, I think, so you should be able to get those now. What time are we on? And then they sent me this book as well. You know, they asked me sort of what type of books I was interested in. Well, you know, I love all books. I mean, they've got some great titles. So they sent me this one as well, 100 Plants That Heal, and I absolutely adore it. I've always loved aromatherapy and things like that. So I was so excited to get this one, and I think this is available now. Yeah. So this is by, it says the Illustrated Herbarium of Medicinal Plants. And what I love about this is just, I mean, the photographs. I think they're photographs alongside beautiful illustrations of all the beautiful, look at that. So for example, there you've got heather, and you've got all its uses and its properties. I just love it, and every page is like that it's just so, it's hard to hold, it's so beautiful. And I think because they're sort of photographs, I often find sometimes it can be harder to identify plants when you've only got the sketches. Although they do a really good job, I think it's nice to see the plants actually photographed, you know, alongside the sketches. So this is an absolute beauty of a book, and I have been reading through it. It's just a really lovely one. You know, sort of one of those coffee table books that you can just pick up and browse through. Silver birch, strawberry watercress, wild carrot, wild thyme, winter savoury, wood ovens, yarrow. It sort of gives you information on when to harvest, how to preserve, how to dry plants. It's just, I look at the cornflowers. The cornflowers have gone mad in our garden this year. There we go. Just anyway, so if you know someone that loves gardening or, you know, plants and herbs, I think that would be a really, really beautiful book. And I'm so happy that I've got that in my collection. And like I said, it's currently down on my coffee table, and in the evening I just have a little browse through. So I love that. And then lastly, I've got two books that I bought myself that are my current reading books. So first of all, we've got The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. I mentioned this book in my 12 books that I wanted to read in 2021. I finally got around to picking it up and reading it, and I'm on page 70 and I'm already in love with it. It's so beautifully written. So the premise is there's a young girl in I think it's the early 1700s. She's 23 and she lives in a little village, and she doesn't want her life to be like, I suppose, the other people in her village. She doesn't want to be trapped into marriage and having babies. She wants to travel and explore. And of course, back then, you know, the options for women were very sort of limited, and she doesn't want that. And she, you know, refuses lots of offers of marriage. And then at 23, she ends up having to accept the hand of a chap whose wife had died. He'd already had, I think, 3 children, and her mum and her dad agree. You know, she's 23, she's already a third of the way through her life, which I think is just so funny. And she knows a sort of, I suppose, like a wise woman in the village who prays to the old gods, and who sort of warns her, look, you never pray to the night gods. You know, but you know, I pray to the old gods, and you give them a sacrifice, something that's precious to you. And on the day of her wedding, she makes a lot. She keeps praying for this to happen during the days, and you know, she still looks like she's getting married. On her wedding night, before the ceremony, she runs down and she doesn't realise that sort of darkness has come and the sun has set, and she prays and ends up making a deal with, I suppose, one of the night gods, and the deal is he gets to keep her soul when she's done with it, and in you know, in exchange for that, she gets to live a life untethered by time. But of course, there's always a catch, and the catch is that the minute the deal's made, she is immortal. She will live for as long as she wants, but no one ever remembers her. She leaves no trace. She cannot even say her name to people. So they meet her, they instantly forget her. So she tries to go home, and her mum and dad don't ever remember having had a child. So, you know, what it does is it bounces between the sort of early 1700s and then the early sort of, I think it's 2014. So it's going forward and backwards in time. So she's been alive by this point 300 odd years and has no friends, you know, has no home, has a very solitary life. So it's really, really interesting, but it's very beautiful. It's just, yeah, it's very beautifully written. And I suppose, I think it probably would come under sort of a science fiction-y genre, but it doesn't feel that way to me. So I'm really enjoying that. And then the other book, this is a reread for me. I'm reading The Pursuit of Love, which for some reason I cannot help, and I noticed that I said it even in my book tour video, my bookshelf tour video. I'd called it The Pursuit of Happiness. I don't know why. I know that I'm obviously confusing it with that Will Smith film. Anyway, this is The Pursuit of Love by Nancy Mitford, which I read when I was very young and I really enjoyed. I love that kind of the interwar period. I love those types of books, and Nancy Mitford's writing is very accessible, I think, and I just love the characters. Anyway, the reason I'm rereading this is there was a TV adaptation of it recently, and it had it had some really good actors. Anyway, mine's gone blank. I'll pop them below. I know it was Moriarty from Sherlock, and the girl, is it Lily James? Is that her name? Anyway, all really good actors, and they did a 3-part adaptation of it, and I watched it on catch up, and it was just beautiful, really good. And I think it's Emily Mortimer, I think that's her name. She adapted it, so she took the book and adapted it for this TV series, and she's actually she is in it. She's the Bolter, if you've read it, and I really liked the way she adapted it for the screen. It was really sensitive. It was very close to the book. I wanted to reread it because I felt like it was quite close to the book, but I hadn't read it for many years, so I'm rereading it. I've nearly finished, and there aren't that many changes, and I think a lot of what she's done is taken a lot of the key quotes, and you know, so the story is very similar. There are some subtle differences, but not. I think it was a really good adaptation, and I think probably it helped that it was over 3 episodes, even though it's a very small book. So I think that just goes to show how difficult it is to adapt these bigger books for film, and how much you generally miss out because, you know, that's not a very big book, and it was a sort of 3-hour run. I love them both, so I'm very happily reading the book again. I'm really enjoying it. It's just a really easy, lovely read, and I really recommend the TV show. So I think it was on BBC, I'm not sure. I'll put the details below, but it was just really beautiful to watch. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was actually, I think she really brought out the humour in the script. You know, sometimes when you read these older books, you forget that you know, you take them a bit seriously, and actually they're quite funny. So, and that really, I think, came across in the TV show, the humour in the book. So yeah, that is it. So I think I'm going to let that be for now, because I feel like I've probably been talking for quite a while, and I don't want to overload you. So I will be back next week. I will try and also get the vlog footage up. I'll see what I've got, but I'll definitely be back next week with a new podcast, so that I can talk to you through some more of the projects I've been doing. Anyway, I hope you're all well, and that you're staying safe, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.